Chapter 4: What humanity's final growth form might look like. 4.1. Transcending the physical body and transitioning to a light body. Certain spiritual theories claim that the final growth form of humanity is an energy body or light body, granting supernatural abilities and freedom from material constraints, an image closely aligned with traditional angelic representations of wings and radiant auras. Under this view, our current physical bodies are fragile, juvenile forms, vulnerable to death. But upon meeting specific conditions, spiritual maturity, karmic purification, genetic predisposition, a metamorphosis occurs, resulting in a new body that transcends mortality. 4.2. Radical shifts in intelligence and consciousness. Angels and extraterrestrials are often credited with superlative intelligence and profound cosmic insight. The metamorphosis hypothesis suggests that our larval state corresponds to only partial activation of our cognitive potential. In the final growth form, latent mental capacities would fully blossom, enabling telepathy, teleportation, or other extraordinary abilities. This idea resonates with the popular myth that humans use only 10% of their brain, repurposed spiritually, to claim that the remaining 90%, once unlocked, could grant access to higher dimensional knowledge. 4.3. Changes in reproduction and sociality. If humans truly metamorphose into angelic or extraterrestrial forms, they might transcend earthly reproduction and material labor. This parallels insect metamorphosis. Adult insects often play a brief reproductive role distinct from the larval feeding phase. By analogy, a final human form might enjoy near eternal existence and operate in a higher realm, divorced from the reproductive and economic systems of our current society. Such a transformation would mirror mythological portrayals of gods and angels dwelling in a separate, non-material realm. Chapter 5: Why this truth has not been publicly acknowledged. 5.1. Invisibility and higher dimensional concealment. According to this hypothesis, even if a few individuals have metamorphosed into angels, their new forms would be imperceptible to ordinary human senses. Just as a caterpillar metamorphoses into a butterfly unseen by those unaware of its identity, so these higher dimensional beings could move among us or in another realm without detection. Furthermore, spiritual traditions often teach that angels avoid unnecessary interference in the material world, reinforcing their concealment. 5.2. Preventing mass panic and social collapse. If the general public discovered that humans possess a hidden metamorphic potential and that some have already become angels, existing religious beliefs and social structures could be destabilized. Political and economic systems might unravel under the weight of such a revelation. Conspiracy-oriented interpretations therefore argue that this truth has been deliberately withheld to preserve social order. From a Christian eschatological perspective, one might read this as the secret of metamorphosis is kept until the end times, when only the chosen few will be saved. 5.3. Beyond the scope of science. Modern science relies on empirical, reproducible data. Spiritual dimensions and supernatural metamorphoses lie outside the realm of testable phenomena, so science dismisses them as impossible. Even if a final growth form existed, it could not be captured by conventional scientific methods, and thus remains hidden from public discourse. In this view, the truth may exist, but will never appear within the framework of mainstream science. Chapter 6: Critical examination and conclusion. 6.1. Objections from evolutionary biology and anatomy. According to established biology, humans, like other mammals, develop continuously rather than undergoing a distinct metamorphic switch. Our skeletons, organs, and physiological systems grow incrementally. There is no evidence for a radical, discrete transition to wings or a luminous body. Genetic, hormonal, and immunological mechanisms likewise offer no support for a late-life metamorphosis. Thus, the claim that our current form is merely juvenile, and that a final stage lies beyond, is entirely inconsistent with standard scientific understanding. 6.2. Affinity with mythology and spiritual thought. Nevertheless, this hypothesis resonates with religious and spiritual narratives of human potential, resurrection, and ascension. Just as the butterfly's metamorphosis poetically symbolizes death and rebirth, So the idea that humans can ascend through death or transformation aligns with beliefs about heaven or the afterlife. Linking this to the Revelation's 144,000 elect fosters an image of living metamorphosis into angels, suggesting that some individuals might undergo a secret transformation to a divine state. 6.3. Appeal and limits of the hypothesis. The hypothesis has undeniable romantic appeal, but lacks concrete evidence of actual metamorphosis in humans. Advocates argue that the scarcity of cases explains their secrecy. Critics counter that absence of evidence is evidence of absence. Until verifiable cases are documented, the theory remains a spiritual or mythological speculation, rather than a scientific proposition. 6.4. Summary. In sum, the notion that humans are currently in a juvenile phase, with only a tiny fraction able to metamorphose into angelic or extraterrestrial final forms, is a compelling spiritual narrative. It can be mapped onto religious motifs such as the 144,000 saved in Revelation and offers a metaphor for human potential. However, it contradicts evolutionary biology and lacks empirical support. Its continued secrecy is explained by spiritual arguments about higher dimensional invisibility, fears of social upheaval, and the limitations of scientific methodology. As a hypothesis, it serves more as a source of spiritual inspiration than as a candidate for acceptance by mainstream science. Whether one accepts or rejects this idea depends on one's worldview. Scientifically, the claim of a hidden metamorphosis is untenable spiritually. It can be read as a positive message that humanity is still in development and has untapped potential. Ultimately, this narrative persists as a modern myth, inviting us to imagine what we might become if we could indeed evolve into higher forms of existence.